What's going on, fam? Josh here, back in the dojo. In this video, I'm going to tell you why I think you should hop on this trend or this sort of new theme that I'm seeing a lot of new creators publish on YouTube. So let's get into it. Over the past year or so, I've been seeing a lot of creators, small creators, take their phones, take their GoPros, whatever kind of camera that they have, sit in their cars, sit in their RVs, sit in the park, stand outside somewhere, and just share their thoughts. Some of them have a niche, some of them have a specific focus. A lot that I've seen, maybe that's just because this is how I'm curating my algorithm, has been sort of personal development, motivational, them just sharing like the human experience with you. And these videos are blowing up, and I think it's because of a couple of reasons. One, we all know YouTube is a behemoth. To me, it's the best social media app there is out there. I love the fact that you can go to YouTube to learn from it, to meditate from it, find peace from it, to get entertained from it, to expose yourself to different things around the world, to different hobbies, different personalities. We all know how great YouTube is. And so they're always trying to improve on that. And I'm sure they want to keep that hierarchy in the social media space. So they're always improving their apps. Every year they come out with not a manifesto, but sort of like an update on what's going to work this year, new things they're pushing out this year, you know, how you can connect with the community and build a community. And so now you may not have noticed it, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it. When you go to like your For You page, your home page, right, and you see all the videos they suggest to you, you'll see a video that has 100,000 likes, another one that has, you know, a few million likes or something like that. And then you'll see a few videos that has like 30 likes, right? Or 100 likes, right? Or maybe 1,000 likes, something like that. And a lot of times it's just somebody speaking direct to camera like I am right now, just sharing their thoughts. Again, some people are educating, some people are inspiring, and everything in between. The first reason why I think these videos are doing well is because of sort of like the timeline of YouTube. When YouTube first dropped, there was a lot of things on YouTube, right? Some great, some not so great, some goofy, but it was a new platform. It was a new way to connect with an audience, right? And then YouTube did hit this lull, this weird period where it was like a bunch of clickbait. I remember that year or so where I was like, yo, this is weird. There's a lot of clickbait. I click on the video that says it's going to show me one thing, and then it shows me like some goofy pranks or something like that. I hated that era of YouTube. But then from there, YouTube has developed. It's continued to work on its algorithm to get people to stay and encourage people to post on its platform, because they want people to get on the platform so that advertisers can push their products, and you know, the dance continues, right? But I think the reason why these simple videos are doing well is because there's been a lengthy period of time where a lot of videos have become like super polished. And I think that's great, right? A lot of camera manufacturers, microphone manufacturers, light manufacturers have made the barrier to entry super low. So they've created lots of gear that's affordable, so the creators can purchase their gear, create their videos, and the YouTube business cycle continues. But I think so many videos have gotten so polished, right? Beautiful B-roll, beautiful lighting, right? Cinematic shots, drone shots. It's gotten highly produced, and I love that. There's always going to be a place for that. I love seeing a cinematic video. But I think across the board with social media, people want to be able to trust who they're listening to, who they're being entertained from, right? And it's not that people can't trust a whole bunch of glitz and glamour and lights, camera, action. But I think it's gotten so polished that people sort of want more of a real connection with real people. They understand that even the people who shoot super cinematic videos are real. But sometimes you can hide behind the edit. You can hide behind the lights. You can hide behind the glitz and the glamour, right? And that's fine. There's always going to be a place for that. But some people just want someone to sit down and teach them something, or inspire them, or share their human experience that they can connect with. And it's something about just this face to camera, no edits or very little edits, maybe some lighting, maybe no lighting, stuff like that, that people really resonate with. A couple of years ago, I heard one of my favorite speakers say something like, one of the best ways to sell your product or service is doing lives, right? This is why TikTok Live does well. This is why streaming does well, is because there's no edits. And again, not that edits will make you inauthentic, but when there's no edits, when it's live and you have your ums and your mistakes and, you know, real human interaction on that, people can trust you a lot more. One of the main things they tell you when you get in sales is that that when you want to sell something, you have to get people to know, like, and trust you. And it's something about not having any edits or not having any cinematic drone shots and stuff like that, to where people can feel like you're a little bit more authentic because they can see the real you. They can see your mannerisms. They can hear the inflections in your voice and stuff like that. And they can kind of pick out when you're being a little phony and when you're being authentic. So I want to encourage you, similar to what I'm doing right now. This channel right here is not big yet. I don't want to put that out in the air, right? It hasn't blown up yet. But this is what I'm doing, right? I've been a videographer for years, photographer for years, right? I know how to do the cinematic stuff. I got tons of gear, audio, lighting, microphones and stuff like that. But I was like, man, I really want to get into this YouTube space, but editing is really like the bottleneck of a lot of videos, right? A lot of production companies. The editing takes a long time. So if the objective is to post on YouTube, put the videos out there so that YouTube can sort of learn what type of videos you create so that they can show its viewers, you know, these are the type, this is the type of video you're looking for. This guy, this girl creates this type of videos. Let me put you guys together and you take it from there, right? So you want that feedback. You want to put your videos out and you want that feedback. But if you always have to do a ton of editing, especially if you don't have any editing experience, it's a learning curve, right? It's not a difficult learning curve, but there are some things that you need to familiarize yourself with if you want to create good videos. But again, the editing takes a long time. So if you just get comfortable working on the skill of communication, right? Sharing your thoughts, sharing your life with people, connecting with people in a real way. Doesn't have to be a stream, doesn't have to be live. But if you can create videos like this, where you just sit down, hit record, share your thoughts, and people start to resonate with you, and you get more reps in because you're not wasting a week or two editing your 10-minute, 20-minute video, you can get more reps in. I see a lot of these creators create daily. They put videos out daily, and I'm assuming they batch edit. Some of them batch edit just means like I'll sit down for 4 or 5 hours and create, you know, 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 videos and then post those daily, which I think is a smart workflow. And when you do that, and I've noticed this working on my channel, YouTube can get more information faster. You can look at your analytics and then make your adjustments from there. And I think one of the most important skill sets, right, or the most important thing that people connect with on YouTube is your personality. So out of the different things that you may have to learn when it comes to creating videos on any platform, you know, the communication, the editing, color grading, right, how to light it, how to make the audio sound crispy and professional, right, how to add B-roll, how to chop it up, how to cut out the stuff like that, right? There's more things you have to learn too. But out of all those skill sets, I think the most important skill is the communication. How you show up on camera. Doesn't mean you have to show up and be super excited. If you're not an excited type of person, doesn't mean you have to bring your energy down. If you are like a super lively person, it just means you have to figure out your cadence and your rhythm on how you speak to people and how you speak to people across the world through a camera. So I think that is the most important asset. That is the most important skill set on YouTube when it comes to creating videos. And that's the one you get to work on the most if you create simple videos like this, where there's not a ton of editing or any editing at all. So I want to encourage you to create your videos just like this. You come up with some topics. At this point, I'm pretty sure most of you know what ChatGPT is. So if you're not exactly sure what to put out there, just go to ChatGPT, sort of let it know what types of things you're into, you know, videography, social justice, tutoring, personal development, minimalism, whatever it is. Throw those things into like your prompt and have it spit you out, you know, 10 to 20 potential topics that you could talk about on YouTube. And you read it, you go through it, and then you sit in front of the camera and you speak about it. Now, this makes it a lot easier if the things that you're speaking about are things that you're actually into, because you don't have to like read the script verbatim. You don't have to have a teleprompter or anything like that. No shade to that, but you don't have to do that. So once you have your topics, you choose a couple that you think you could start with, and don't worry about how people react to it or the small amount of views that you're going to get initially, because you're teaching YouTube what types of videos you're going to create. I've even heard a lot of people say you don't even have to niche down, which I like, especially initially, because there's not a lot of people watching your videos. There's not a lot of views. There's not a lot of action going on. So I don't have a lot of action on my YouTube right now, but I'm getting views every day. I'm getting subscribers pretty much every day. And this feedback is allowing me to create better videos on a regular basis, right? You sort of start to see what people resonate with more, like what topics they resonate with more over other topics. And once you have enough of this type of information, you can double down on the videos that people are resonating with, right? The videos you're getting comments on and stuff like that. And it just takes a lot of stress out of the game, because especially if you're busy, like we're adults, a lot of us are adults on YouTube, right? And you have children, you have a job, you have vacations, you have the kids' games you have to go to, different things you have to do as an adult. So you may not have a ton of time to sit down and create an extra job for yourself. What I mean by that is, like, if you shooting cinematic videos, you have to take a lot of time to film those videos. If you editing and making them super perfect, you have to take a lot of time to do that. So you add hours to your week, and you may or may not have that much time to put out there. So if you just sit down, set your camera up, make a little simple studio, a little light, make sure your audio is crispy, make sure the shot is crispy, and you put your videos out there. You speak from your heart, use ChatGPT as an assistant so that, your thoughts are a little bit more concise, you're not all over the place, and you put these videos out. Teach YouTube what it is that you want to talk about, or some of the things you like to talk about. Have YouTube bring people to your front door, get that feedback, and then double down on the things that people are connecting with. And I think if you do that, it takes a lot of stress out of the workflow. You know what I mean? Regardless, it's going to be work. You're going to have to put some work in regardless, right? Because anything that's worth having is worth working for and worth working hard for. But if you could sort of like minimize the amount of work, right, the amount of stress and the workload, I think the chances are greater that you commit to this thing, right, this craft, without the stress of adding another 10, 20 hours to your week because you're trying to make everything look cinematic or something like that. So imagine like you putting 20 hours into a video. And this is part of the game too, right? You putting 20 hours into a video, you put it out there, you put this one video out because that's all the time you had, because you only had time this week for one video. You put it out and it gets 5 views. There's nothing wrong with that, because your videos can start getting views later on as people start, coming to the table, coming to your channel and stuff like that. Those videos that got no views can start to get views. But instead of doing that, imagine you just setting up, taking maybe 20, 30 minutes to shoot your video, put that thing right out, add your title, your thumbnail, some keywords if you want to, a little description, you put that out. And if that gets 5 views, I'm not saying that feels great, but one, you understand you completed the job. The time from the idea concept to you posting the video is way shorter. You put that out, and not only are you able to put that video out, maybe you can put 3 out that week. Maybe you could put 4 or 5 videos out that week. These views accumulate, and because you've had 5 at-bats, because you put 5 videos out, or 3 videos out, or whatever, your skill set of communication has gotten that much better, which means you're making better videos. So you get this information loop faster in less time, less stress, and eventually you'll get similar results, right? Or at least that's what we hope. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really wanted to share with you today, is to put these videos out, man, but keep it super simple. You can go to YouTube, you can learn from YouTube to learn, what camera settings you need to make your shot look good, what types of lighting you can use to light your background, how to set up your shot, making sure your audio is crispy. And these things are very simple. Once you got it, you got it. It's locked in, right? And you can focus on the more important thing, and that's you communicating to your audience, your potential audience, your future audience on YouTube, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and try that out. I'm going to continue to try this out. Again, this is February 1st. I started to sort of get into a rhythm the last 2 months of 2025, so that the beginning of 2026 in January, I can continue to put these videos out, so that in February, I'm in more of a rhythm and I can put these videos out 2 to 3 times a week. And this right here is one of those videos that I'm putting out, encouraging you to do the same. Hope this helps. As always, y'all, ABC, always be creating, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.